Get in on great racing from across the country. At Churchill Downs, 3-year-olds and up square off in the Grade 2 Lucas Classic. And from Santa Anita, champions battle in the Grade 1 Goodwood Stakes. A win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup Classic. Plus, Turf Mile specialists duel in the Grade 2 City of Hope Mile. A win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup FanDuel Mile. Play today on the FanDuel Racing app.
Happy Saturday to you here on FanDuel TV. We've got plenty of live horse racing that you can watch and bet through your FanDuel Racing app. And if you like stakes races, boy, do we have a menu for you. Over at Santa Anita Park, opening weekend of the fall meet. Not one, not two, 5 graded stakes races coming up, including the Grade 1 Goodwood Stakes. Hello to all of you watching us on the social platforms out there. Come join us after the show is done from social media over on the FanDuel Racing app or racing.fanduel.com. We'd love to have you every step of the way throughout today's racing. As I mentioned, we have live racing at Santa Anita, headlined by the Grade 1 Goodwood Stakes. Let's take a look at the field. This is going to be Breeders' Cup win, and you're in for the Classic. 1 mile and an 1/8 the distance, and expecting fast main tracks. And really, as good as it gets is the name of the game here. Notable winners of the Goodwood and went on to the Breeders' Cup Classic. That includes Accelerate, who won in 2018 at Churchill Downs. California Chrome, oh, that tough luck second behind the great Arrowgate. Mucho Macho Man, Pleasantly Perfect, his now Silver Charm, Ferdinand. So many horses that not only won the Breeders' Cup Classic and did well in the Goodwood, but helped shape future generations of thoroughbred racing. Could one of those horses come from this group of 6? We do have the 1-horse Gaming will scratch. Bob Baffert still with 2 other entries. He has the 3-horse Privman, 5-1 on the morning line. Nevada Beach, 12-1 on the morning line. That's going to go down quite a bit. First Mission, you see jockey TBA. We have heard recently Umberto Rispoli has been given them out for trainer Brad Cox. So Rispoli expected to ride First Mission. But let's take a look at Full Serrano. This is a horse who won last year's Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile after almost winning the Mile and a Quarter Pacific Classic. A horse who absolutely loves going 2 turns on the dirt, and a horse with, I still think, plenty of upside. This is a look back at his race on Del Mar. This was his first start in 10 months. And the first time Juan Hernandez, a perennial leading rider on the circuit, was aboard. And you know, I'm not going to say he's the next Flightline, but watching his effort there, don't you get Flightline vibes from him? Just that as easy as he could. Now, he beat a much easier field than he will face here today. But he is proven time and time and time again to be strong, going 2 turns on the dirt. Ironically, his first start at Santa Anita will be today in the Grade 1 Goodwood Stakes. But the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile defending champion is coming up later. Not the only horse that was strong in the Breeders' Cup last year. We'll see racing today at Santa Anita. Race 4, the City of Hope Mile Stakes, is a Grade 2 event going, of course, a mile on the turf course. This race actually kicks off a middle pick 4, races 4 through 7, if you'd like to play that on your FanDuel app. Field of 6, all eyes on the 3-horse Johannes. This horse last year in 2024 was 5 of 6. The only time he lost, he was second in the Breeders' Cup Mile, and looks to make a return trip today. And let's talk about what's happened since then, because he got a win out of that race, and then a little bit of an injury, took some time off. Maybe the hardest thing possible for a horse to do. He came back in the FanDuel 4-Star Dave at Saratoga. Grade 1 race, some of the best milers in the world were in that race, and he just looked like he definitely needed the race. So he comes back home. He loves Santa Anita's turf, 7 for 7, including winning this race last year. And let's go back to the 4-Star Dave Mile. We'll check in with Umberto Rispoli as well, his usual jockey.
Well, what happened out of the gate, then I got a hit from Cairo Prince from the inside, and as soon as he hit me, the horse kind of propped. So I lost that momentum to go in the gap position on the first turn. And obviously, you know, it's at a tiny track at Saratoga. You need to get position right away. Unfortunately, after that hit, he wasn't feeling comfortable. And you know, going through the first turn, that was a mess. So I was a half length on the other horses. I was clipping heels. I was in a really good spot. So that was a mess from the start to the 5. Then obviously on the backside, I sit the second to last on the outside. I was trying to follow the kind of some horses, then they could have a decent shot. At that point, size was the reasonable horse to follow at that time. But I could feel then he couldn't really, he didn't really enjoy the ground over there. You know, it was a little bit of, I would say bumpy, would keeping switch leads on the backside. He was uncomfortable all the way around. And look, going around the turn, I was trying to save some ground, going the inside, and then to use his turn of foot coming to top of the stretch. But he's a horse. Then you know he has some character, and I'm pretty sure. Then I leave at that point the same ghost. Then I leave it in Kentucky when I rode him in Kentucky. Then I got it out of the gate and I shuffled all the way last, and that's basically what happened there. So I would say then my race was compromised from the start, and I think he still ran a decent race. Obviously, it was a tough ask after a long layoff. It's a grade 1 horse. I know that he's capable to win those type of races, and if he can be back at his best, I don't think there is any best miler than him in the country.
Umberto, definitely agree with you. I think when he's at his best, that is one of the best, if not the best, turf miler going right now. But he is going to have to rebound from a very dull effort. The good news is plenty of home cooking there at Santa Anita. He is 7 for 7 on the local turf. So Santa Anita with a big day, but they're not the only track with major stakes races. We also have Churchill Downs, the second to last race of their abbreviated fall meet. Let's take a look at the Lucas Classic. This will be 1 1/8 miles on the main track out there. A grade 2 event that has produced several salty winners in the past as well. You've got Willie D's, Hit Show, Rattle and Roll, Prince of Power, Disarm, Banishing, and Mystic Dan, a horse that away from Churchill Downs, okay, maybe doesn't have the best form, but definitely is a strong runner at Churchill Downs here. Your Kentucky Derby winner from in the past. Francisco Arrieta with the mount on Mystic Dan, with Brian Hernandez Jr. still recovering. And as far as the head-to-head goes, let's compare him with a horse like Hit Show, who his biggest career win came back in the spring, Dubai World Cup, the grade 1 race, earning $8.5 million. A lot of that coming from the Dubai World Cup, but he is 10 for 20. You flip a coin, yes or no, will Hit Show win this race? That's what his record says. Mystic Dan, yeah, that's a little bit more to be desired there. But as far as Mystic Dan's record at Churchill Downs goes, 3 of those 4 career wins under the Twin Spires in 5 total starts. And as I mentioned, Francisco Arrieta Jr. will be aboard for trainer Kenny McPeak. Arrieta does have 1 ride in the past, the Lake Wachita Stakes back at Oaklawn Park on May 3rd when he was 2nd beating the nose. And Tyler Gaffleone set to ride Banishing for trainer David Jacobson. He already has a commanding lead in the jockey standings with 2 race days left to go. 7 more wins than the runner-up currently, Irad Ortiz Jr., who will be aboard the 6-horse Disarm for trainer Steve Asmussen. It's coming up in race 10, race 8, the Ack, which will be a mile race, grade 3 race at Churchill Downs. But it's not just Santa Anita. It's not just Churchill Downs. It's also Gulfstream Park, Hollandale Beach, hosting a slew of races, including the Hollywood Beach Stakes. As for 2-year-olds that are hoping to maybe take bigger steps forward, including possibly to the Breeders' Cup juvenile races there, the Juvenile Turf Sprint, the Juvenile Fillies Turf, all possibly in play for horses coming out of the Hollywood Beach. Let's take a look at the field set to go postward. There were 9 entries originally for the Hollywood Beach Stakes, and the outside 3 runners all sired by Leinster. Why does that matter? Well, Leinster, the name sponsor of the Hollywood Beach Stakes, coming up in race number 9. All eyes from the FanDuel TV team are on the 7 and 8, Squire and Lenny Lou, both from the Patrick Biancone Barn. For more, we checked in with the #1 expert for the Biancone Barn, Andy Biancone.
Well, Lenny Lou makes her 2nd start since her big trip overseas over to Royal Ascot in the Hollywood Beach Stakes, sponsored by Leinster, who actually sires all 3 of the outside horses. But Lenny Lou's going to take on the boys, and she could not be in better form. Obviously, this is a big test. She's taken on the boys, but she has been working excellent down at Palm Meadows, really just handling herself beautifully. But the goal for her is to go to the Breeders' Cup. So we gave her a run at the dirt, opted to stay home versus traveling traveling to Kentucky Downs just to give her an easy one back. She barely won, but that was on the dirt, and we didn't necessarily drill her coming into that race. Now, second start since Ascot, this is where things start to heat up, but like I said, she's been very impressive up until this point, and hopefully all systems a go. She'll be making her way to Del Mar after this run. But the horse to her inside, Squire, the stablemate, he's going to have to take a massive step forward. Squire, not an untalented horse, but a little bit immature. I think it kind of hurts him that he has to wait for this race, that it's later in the day. He's really not a horse who handles being in the receiving barn for very long, but little by little, brick by brick, he's learning his way. I think Lenny Lou will be very tough to beat.
And best of luck to Team Biancone and everyone contesting the Hollywood Beach Stakes. 5 furlongs set to go on a turf course currently rated as good. We'll see how that might possibly change throughout the afternoon. But if you're interested in betting horse racing, we have one of our most popular promotions going at 3 different tracks today. We've got Churchill Downs, Belmont at the Big A, Santa Anita Park. It's the money back special race. 8 races in total between these 3 tracks. Get up to $10 back if the horse you bet to win in any of those 8 races finishes second or third. Now, the or third comes with an asterisk because it's dependent on field size. So, after you opt in on your FanDuel Racing account, check the details. Find out exactly what it qualifies for. You need to have a certain number of horses in a race to qualify for third, so make sure you pay close attention to those details because we do want to help you win money here and give you a little bit of a money back special insurance on those 8 races.